Is that all? A diversion.
I'll take it from here. Bring delusion. Right here, right now.
The frigid wind is coming. Are you ready?
Keep up with the beat. Got a summer surprise. Sign for it. Not done yet.
Sink into the
Show isn't over
whirlpool.
yet. Delusion. Sing your head out. Not done yet. Let's create the most beautiful stage.
How rude of you. Be gone.
Sing your heart out.
Suffocating now. Sink
I'll
into
take
the
it from here.
whirlpool.
I'll help blast your trouble sky high. Hit the beat. The show isn't over yet.
Suffocating now.
Please go in. Not done yet. Angel Ultimate. Wink, wink.
The wind leaves no trace.
Surf's up. I'll take it from here. Sing your heart out. Not done yet.
Swift wind. Howling by.
Cycle of yin and yang. Like a shadow.
The weak spot is here. Shift. Obliterate form and spirit. Up to cream, spirit and form. Don't get careless. Yep.
In the name of the night emissary!
Cycle of yin and yang. Evil shall turn to dust.
Lumber in the mix.
Freeze.
Listen to my wow, you can do everything.
Obliterate form and spirit. Yin and yang.
Faithful companion, heed my call.
Your life ends here.
Yeah.
Watch out. Well done, Fufu. Reality and illusion.
Relax. Leave it to the next emissary.
Cycle of yin and yang.
Ride the wind. Free as the sky. Evil retreats.
Here I frost.
Radiant cloud. Split the heavens. Forward. Turn around. Smash them. Cut through darkness. A measure of steel slices the world through. Judgment. Big talk here. Open. It recovers radiant cloud. Frost glistens. Split the heavens. My blade cuts down evil. My spirit soars in the sky. Yeshunguang Yunquei Summit, breaking all illusions. Opening forward. Turn around to music. A measure of steel slices the world through. Split the heavens. Radiant cloud. My one and only about intercept. Seal. Free. Got one for complaints. Right? Got in there for attack.
The line is gone.
Spotted ethereal lightning. Forward. Judgment. heart follows my will, and winds howl in the heavens! Frost scorpions! Radiant cloud! Blazing arc! My blade cuts down evil! My spirit soars in the sky! Split the heavens! Frost scorpions! Let this sword array